Okay, the next round, the next question, we're going to start with Kandice Richardson Fowler. And that question is, it has to do with communication and coordination. Because every member of the school board is elected by district, an issue that might be most important to residents in your district may be of little importance to residents in another district or vice versa. How will you balance the needs and desires of residents in your district with what might be in the best interest of the community at large? Thank you, Kandice.
Okay, so for that situation, I think it really becomes essential to have a strategic plan. Coming from nonprofit management with my background in public administration, if you don't have a strategic plan, you don't know where you're going. You're basically reacting and triaging. So I know things pop up, but if we don't have a plan of what's going to happen, even a plan that has a process of depreciation where we're looking at, okay, we have HVAC units that are getting installed this year. When are we going to need to do maintenance and check up on those sorts of things and revisit this issue? So we can factor that into the plan as well as the budget. Again, here, I think I kind of reiterated this in one of the previous questions. I'm not just representing District 5, I'm representing all of Woodland Joint Unified School District. Some of the things that I would like to do to help improve communication would be to have some sort of a newsletter a la the other elected officials at the county level and city level who are just communicating with people. You don't have to be from District 5 to get my newsletter, but you can sign up and figuring out what's going on. And I love a best practices and a SWOT. So if we realized what was going on with our strengths or weaknesses, figure out what the opportunities and the threats are, that would really help drive how effective we are. And critically looking at a situation and figuring out what is the best path to successful fruition. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Kandice. Okay, next is Jake. I'm going to read the question for you. Because every member of the school board is elected by district, an issue that might be most important to residents in your district may be of little importance to residents in other districts and vice versa. How will you balance the needs and desires of residents in your district with what might be in the best interest of the community at large? Thank you, Jake.
Yeah. So I would just start out by giving a little bit of information about my district. You know, I represent a pretty interesting cross-section of our town where the only school geographically located in my district is Maxwell Elementary. But I have families who send their kids to Maxwell, to Beamer, to Freeman, to Dingle, to Lee and Douglas middle schools, and to Woodland and Pioneer high schools. And so I have a lot of, you know, a pretty broad-based view of interests at a district level. But I would also say, and I agree with Kandice, I don't think that we have to sacrifice the needs of a district when we're talking about the needs of a district, of the school district as a whole. To me, in a sense, it's a bit of a false choice because we are elected to represent districts, but we are also represented and judged by the outcomes and the results of our entire school district. I think that, you know, in my time as a board member, I've come to appreciate too how important it is to have productive working relationships with your colleagues on the board. Because at the end of the day, even if you represent a district, you're only one vote out of 7 votes. And if you can't count to 4 being a majority, you can want anything you want, but it isn't going to actually happen unless you can build a broader coalition of support for the needs of your district. And that's why I think, and going back to it again, it's important to have that broad-based viewpoint of what is in the best interest of the district as a whole and understanding the needs of the schools that you represent within that context.
Thank you, Jake. Okay, next, Trista, let me read the question for you, okay? Because every member of the school board is elected by district, an issue that might be most important to residents in your district may be of little importance to residents in other districts and vice versa. How will you balance the needs and desires of residents in your district with what might be in the best interest of the community at large? Thank you, Trista.
Thank you, Cecilia. Our Woodland School Board elections are in fact decided by voters within a district. However, like my previous two stated, that once elected to the board, you're representing all students within the district. As public servants, trustees have the difficult task of balancing the needs and desires of some while acting in the best interest of all. If elected, I will just be one of 7 trustees. And the most important responsibility of a collective board is to work collaboratively together and with the community to improve student achievement in our schools. As a trustee for Area 3, I believe it is important that I represent and be the voice of my area. So I will bring concerns and ideas to the superintendent and the board to see what can be done. A concern in Area 3 may also be a concern in another area in the district worth a discussion. I think that it is important to ensure clear and effective communication is present, not only with our trustees and district staff, but also with teachers in the community. Any concern deserves to be addressed and an answer provided. My interests are in what is best for all of our students within the Woodland Joint Unified School District. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Trista.